All right, welcome. Here's a solution to getting those four different types of barriers all coded up with some inheritance and a parent object. So let's get started on this one. What we have here is we have these four types of barriers: wall, big wall, wood wall, and statue. And what we want to do is make it so that when the player runs into them, the player stops and a sound is played. Now, since basically you don't want to have to go say player hits wall, stop. Player hits big wall, stop. Player hits wood wall, stop. I'm going to make a parent object. I'll create an object here. I'm going to call this parent object O barrier. Make it solid because all my walls are solid. And that's really it. Just hit OK. Now what I do with big wall and wall is I say parent. Where's the barriers? Barrier. Big wall. Parent. Barrier. And you see where this is going. They all get to be barriers. Now, even though barrier doesn't have any code, this is still going to let us make the barrier a lot easier when we code in the player. So there I have four barriers. Okay, they all have the parent for wall. If you actually go back and check the barrier object, you'll see it has its children listed there, right? Should be four of them. Now what I could do is I could code the barrier and say when a player hits me, make the player stop. Okay, that would work. And you can also just go into the player, which is what I'm going to do here. I like to keep stuff in the player when you can. So player, right now I have hits big wall, and you'll see my code is basically just stop. I'm just going to delete that event, and I'm just going to add in collides with barrier, which will include all types of those barriers I just did. So when I collide with any type of barrier, speed is 0, and there's the play sound. And I think the sound was supposed to be sound hit, just so there's a little bit of extra code there. You know it's working. Now that's really it. So that was a very short, easy little example of inheritance where objects all qualify themselves as barriers. Okay, so nice use there. Give this little test run. Now I just remembered I only left the big wall in there, which is going to be fine. And as we go into the big wall, it's definitely working. And I haven't added any of the other types of walls into this room yet. But if I just quickly go into the room, I'll just test one of them out. Let's just get barrier wood wall. Just make a couple of them there. And this should also work just fine. And trust us, if we do the other ones, same effect. So nice. Okay, so that's a common use of inheritance between games, and that is pretty time saving if you have a lot of different types. So hopefully that worked for you. And the next challenge, this is a little bit harder with inheritance, so go check out challenge 2.